guys, we're going live.
It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. God needs us to shine its light as me. As you so use me. Oh God, I stand for you. And here I'm abide as you show me all that I must do. So use me. Use me. That is the beautiful Eileen Angel, who we are very blessed to have with us today. And so, from that place of understanding the truth of use me, I invite you to join me in our opening spiritual mind treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. So if you're comfortable doing so, close your eyes and hear these words as if they were your own. And so right here, right now, I tune into the oneness of spirit, the source, the loving presence that exists in, as, and through each of us, right here, right now. And I align myself with that truth of oneness and wholeness and life and love that wishes to celebrate as me, as each of us. And so as we come into this day of celebration here together, I know this truth. I know that each of us celebrates who we are and how we get to show up in the world as love. I know that this community is an expression of love in the world, and that we show up gratefully, joyfully, celebrating the love that we are, celebrating one another, and celebrating this beautiful teaching that reminds us of our oneness, of our connection to each other, and of the love that we truly are. And so from that place of deep knowing, from that place of connection with one another and with Source, I simply release this word into law, into that ever-present and loving law that does unto us as we believe. And as I believe in the power of celebration, in the joy of love, and in this community, I know that it is already done. And so I simply let it be, and together we say, and so it is. Well, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant, in case you didn't get that, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything we do. Here, we honor the unique journey of every soul, offering a place of healing, growth, and celebration. Together, we create an atmosphere of openness and love, where every person is seen, valued, and respected just as they are. My name is Lori Carlson, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at CSLM. Thank you for joining us. It's great to see you all here in person. And for those of you who are joining us online or watching at a later time, we are glad that you are part of this journey of shared wisdom, light, and transformation. If this is your first time with us, we welcome you to take a free book and to get a welcome packet and to sign up to get our Constant Contact newsletter. If you are already a member or have been here before, but you do not get our Constant Contact, please make sure you sign up so you can keep track of all the good things we have going on here. We have a lot going on here. We also have a website, which is cslmorristown.org. Like I said, we are happy to welcome back our musician, Eileen Angel. And the 2026 CSL theme is, I love this, open at the top. I love that because this is the way I treat at home, like this. And the monthly theme for June is higher, deeper love. And my topic today is celebration as an expression of love. So, we are going to start the way we always do, which is with our Namaste practice. Now, Namaste means the divinity within me recognizes and honors the divinity within you. But since my topic is celebration today, and since I always like to tweak it a little towards the topic, I'm going to invite you to put your hands together over your heart and to turn to someone and say, the celebration in me recognizes and honors the celebration that you are. The celebration recognizes and honors the celebration. The celebration recognizes and honors the celebration. Celebrate. Celebrate you. So do we all feel celebrated? Do we all feel seen? Okay, well, I'm going to turn it back over to Eileen for another beautiful song. This one's original.
Standing on the ledge, way out on the edge. One hand reaching out, the other holding on for dear life. Yeah, I could crash and burn, or I could touch the sky. stepping stone to grace, every time that I am alone, every miracle I see, for every crazy dream I dream, every circumstance that seems faithful, I am so grateful. Yes, I am grateful.
We are grateful to you for being here. And it's so perfect and beautiful for my talk and my topic today. Because there is always something worth celebrating, and celebration for me starts with gratitude. So I'm going to be talking about this today, something that, a lot of spiritual communities don't always emphasize, right? Is the importance of celebration. But what if we recognize that celebration is not just for those big milestones, which we will be talking about a little bit, but is for every day. Not just for the special occasions, but it's the way we express love and bring more love out into the world. So, I've had a lot of things to celebrate lately. Yesterday was my birthday. I just turned 68. And I just came back from a beautiful birthday trip to Bermuda. And yesterday I got to give my sponsee her 10-year coin at our celebration meeting. And today, in case you'll probably see a lot of activity back there, we are celebrating our 1 year in this beautiful new space. So there's lots of things to celebrate, right? There's lots of opportunities to remember who we are and how we are thriving and how we want to show up in the world. And I like to think of celebration as an act of love. I go to an AA meeting every morning. I share this all the time here. And I always share my joys. It's like, always on Monday morning, especially after being here on a Sunday, I share my joy because I believe that a joy shared is a joy multiplied, and that we lift other people up by sharing joy. And that by celebrating those joys, it is in itself an act of love. And the theme for this month, right, is higher, deeper love. What is a higher form of love than celebrating each other, than celebrating life, than celebrating the love that we are? So, when we were doing the scheduling for speaking in this month and everything, I knew I was going to Bermuda. And so it was kind of like, well, do I want to speak the day after, my birthday? Do I want to go to the beach and just relax, or do I want to do a talk? And, so it was like something I thought about. I talked with Reverend Janice about, I spoke to my sponsor about, I prayed about, and then I realized the best way for me to celebrate my life is to do those things that fill my life with joy. And being here with you and talking with you and getting the opportunity to speak is one of the things that brings my life joy. So why would I not do that? This is what brings my life meaning and purpose. So I chose to do it. I chose yesterday morning to go and give my sponsee her coin. Got up really early and skipped my affirmation practice because that brings me joy. And I had the opportunity to go visit my old landlady at the nursing home and bring her gifts. So on my birthday, and I had friends invite me out, beautiful friends invited me out, but I chose to spend it in service, and I chose to spend time alone, working on my talk today, coming into centering in what brings me purpose. I spent some time with my singing bowls. I spent lots of time in meditation and prayer. I would have been out on my bike, but it was kind of rainy. But the idea being that a celebration doesn't have to be fireworks and cake, right? A celebration is just paying attention, is just waking up and remembering that we are celebrating our existence as expressions of spirit. So what is a birthday? A birthday is that. It is the recognition that I have life, right? I mean, I'm not so glad another year's gone by, but I am grateful for every day that I get to remember that I am a blessed expression of spirit. And celebration, when you spend the time to stop and pause and appreciate and pay attention, it gives you the opportunity to celebrate even the smallest of things, right? You know, it's so easy to celebrate the big things, the milestones. We're having this amazing barbecue here today, celebrating a year. But how many of you celebrate the small things? I'll tell you, I open my Science of Mind magazine and I read the daily reflection for the day, and I celebrate that. I celebrate the teaching. I celebrate the opportunity to open my eyes in the morning. Every moment is an idea and an opportunity to celebrate. So I have a ton of quotes for you, as usual. We'll see how many of them make their way into the talk. So Ernest Holmes, one of the all-time classic Ernest Holmes quotes is, "Love points the way, and the law makes the way possible." But what does love point the way to? I think love points the way to gratitude, to appreciation, to joy, to celebrating one another. What is love but being totally present, excuse me, in the moment and paying attention, right? I shared a couple weeks ago when I was talking about love, about my boyfriend and how he saw me because he paid attention. And he saw me with the eyes of love. And when we pay attention, then we bring love to whatever we are experiencing. And by doing that, we get to celebrate it. So I just really love that idea that celebration doesn't have to be a big thing. It is just in the essence of life itself. There's this beautiful quote by Rajneesh, if I'm saying that right. Celebration is without any cause. Celebration is simply because we are. We are made out of the stuff called celebration. That's our natural state, to celebrate. It's as natural as it is for the trees to bloom, for the birds to sing, for rivers to flow to the ocean. Celebration is our natural state. Well, isn't that what we believe in this teaching, right? That we are expressions of spirit. We are celebrations. We are life. And I just love that idea that it's just the unfolding of who we are already. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to earn it. I mean, you know, sure, it's great to celebrate milestones and have a birthday cake, but we are already celebrations. It is a choice and a perspective. And you get to make that choice every day. You can choose to celebrate your life. You can choose to celebrate the pebble that you walk past. And, oh, look at that, how beautiful. You know, you can choose to celebrate the miraculous in every moment. Or you can wait for something to celebrate. You can wait for that day to come when celebration is going to, happen because it's a milestone. But who wants to live like that? Not me. I'm a use the good china every day kind of girl. And I didn't always used to be. I used to think something had to happen for me to celebrate. I used to think something good had to, like there had to be a reason. Something outside of myself, right? But we know in this teaching, the blessing of this teaching has taught me that it's not something outside myself. It's within. And it's always there. And it's my choice to see it, to recognize it, to celebrate it, and to share it. And Oprah Winfrey says, the more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is to celebrate. Well, that has been my experience. That is true for me. I don't know, but does anybody else relate to that? Right? So you get to choose, and you get to make the difference. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar said, celebration happens when the mind unites with the spirit. When the mind unites with the spirit. Now, isn't that what this teaching is all about? Right? We are one mind. We are one spirit. So how can anything but celebration be happening every moment when you remember that? When you come back to that place? Like I said, I just came back from this beautiful birthday trip to Bermuda, and it was beautiful. You know, I went cliff diving, I went paddle boarding, I did all this fun stuff, and I got to see beautiful beaches and all of that. But you know what made it special was not all of that. What made it special was that I got to spend time with a dear friend. It's the connection between people that brings moments of celebration. It's all of you here today, right? We're gonna have this great barbecue and concert and celebration, and we get to bring that energy everywhere we go. We don't have to be in Bermuda. We don't have to be anywhere special. We can show up as that. We can be that together. And that's what we get to do here. We get to be that energy for one another. And I just want to say that, you know, even when things are difficult, even when there's things we think are not worthy of celebration, that's when it's even more important. That's when it's even more important to celebrate the little wins, because it helps give us strength to deal with what's difficult. I'm not saying that we deny it, or we spiritually bypass it, or we pretend it's not there, but we get to choose to balance that which is difficult, or that which we don't like, with that which is joyful, and that with which we get to celebrate. So that is our choice, right? And it is something that we can do at any moment. And it reminds us that difficulty is never the whole story. So this is always brought back to me most clearly in AA. I share this here all the time. You know, I'm a very proud member of AA. We'll have 13 years in November. And yesterday at the celebration meeting where I got to give my sponsee her 10-year coin, there were people celebrating from 90 days to 46 years. And it was a powerful, meaningful meeting. Besides my sponsee getting her 10 years, but the whole meeting was really powerful. And you know, it's very interesting because in AA we celebrate all these milestones, right? 90 days, a year, 2 years, but we also always say that we only have today, right? All we have is today. You can't count on, you know, you don't celebrate yesterday's sobriety, and you can't be guaranteed tomorrow. We only have today. So then why are we celebrating these milestones? We do it to show the newcomer what is possible. We do it to give hope, to show others that celebration exists, that sobriety exists. And I feel like we do the same thing here, right? We celebrate this teaching to show the world, to show one another that this teaching works, that possibility exists, that when you embody this teaching, that there is nothing that is not possible. And you know, then as I was working on this talk and thinking about things, I remembered that we used to call this, what I'm calling Sunday service, celebration. We never called it service. We called it celebration. And why? Because it's a celebration of the teaching. It's a celebration of one another. It's a celebration of community. We celebrate here not because everything's perfect, but because this works. This teaching works. Because we have joy here, right? Here, Fred, got joy. That's our t-shirt. That's our theme. So we celebrate because we have changed lives here. Because our lives continue to change here. Because we find community here. Because as a community, we can show up in the world as expressions of love. And we get to develop our spiritual strength here, right? That's what we do. That's what we teach. That's who we are. And what a blessing is that? Isn't that something to celebrate? Look, we can't celebrate having 1 year down here and this thriving, look, there's not a empty seat in here, and this thriving community without reminding ourselves that there was a moment or a time when we doubted we were going to go forward, right? When Reverend Frankie retired and re-inspired, there was a lot of people that were in doubt and in fear about this was going to look like. But look at us now. Look at us, we are thriving. Look at us, we are celebrating a new space. Thank you to all of our beautiful leadership council and to Reverend Janice and to this community, to everyone who shows up, who brings a friend, who brings food for social hour, who goes on a marketing committee, who brings books to donate, who brings a friend who smiles at the newcomer. Everything we do, we have built this community, and that is worthy of celebrating. Today, I hope you're all going to stay for the barbecue. We are celebrating this milestone, but we didn't do it. We didn't do it without lots of love, and we did it together. As much as I appreciate so much our leadership and everything, we did it together as a community. So I want you to all celebrate yourselves for that. I celebrate the courage and the dedication and the love that brought us here, but I also celebrate the energy, in case you don't notice, the energy and the enthusiasm that is here in this room, not just in me, but is here within all of us, because we bring that forth, right? Like when we do that namaste practice, the celebration in me calls forth that celebration in you. And we get to do that together. We get to celebrate the good. We get to celebrate life. We get to celebrate the love that we are. Because what we truly believe in this teaching is that we are expressions of the one, right? Anybody not believe that? We are expressions of that one, and if that one is all there is, and that one is love, then we are love. And how can you not celebrate that? Oh my God, just saying it makes me want to celebrate. So we know in this teaching that the universe is always happening for us, not to us, right? So even we celebrate the milestones, and in the beautiful song that Eileen sang about, even the difficult times are things to be grateful for, because we can celebrate even the lessons that we learn. I'm always talking about the AFGOs, right? Another effing growth opportunity. But we can even celebrate the things that we don't like or that we wish would be different, because we know that in some way they are there for us. In some way they grow us. And so if we can make that shift in perspective, that shift in choice, and say, rather than whine and complain about this, I am going to celebrate it, because I know that at some point along the way, at some point I'm going to look back and I'm going to be grateful that this happened, because I will see how it grew me. I will see what it brought to me, even through the pain and suffering that it may entail in the moment. I know, because I'm in this teaching, I know that there will be good. This too is for me. This too is good, right? To quote Emma Curtis Hopkins. And that's what we have to remember. One of the things that is very uplifting to me, this kind of shift that's happened in the world, not just in our community, but is a lot of people now do a celebration of life rather than a funeral, right? And I just love that, because rather than mourning, and that's totally natural, and I understand, you all know I've had a lot of loss in my life, so I've been through that, I know about that, I honor it, I respect it, but I choose to celebrate the life of the people I've lost. I choose to celebrate their life rather than mourn that they are not with me. And I guess while I was in Bermuda, I saw the original Tom Sawyer, or Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Anybody remember that? Anybody see that movie? Yeah. So there's a scene in that movie where they run off to be pirates and everybody thinks they drowned and they come back and hide in the balcony of the church to watch their own funeral and to hear what the people say about them. And when they hear it, they come walking out crying because they're so beautiful and they didn't expect that. So these little boys come out and admit where they were because of what the people said about them, right? So I just thought there was a great lesson in how we can celebrate one another as we are living. Every day is a celebration of life. And you can celebrate the people around you. Tell them the good that they've done. Tell them what you love about them. Don't wait to eulogize them when they're gone. This is a choice we can make to celebrate life today, to celebrate who we are right now. And so, it's great to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries and the big things, but I think it's more important that we celebrate each other. That we celebrate the love that we are, the love that you are, the love that we share. And we can do that every moment of every day with every small gesture and every smile. Most of you know I write a gratitude journal every night. And my gratitude journal is filled with things from huge things that happen to the tiniest of things. So sometimes it's the person who made me smile, but more often than that, it is I got to make someone smile. But it's very often the tiniest things because I choose to bring my awareness to those things. The big things are obvious. Obviously, I'm grateful to be here today. Obviously, I'm grateful for another year of life. But I'm also grateful for that bird. If you were here a couple weeks ago, Grayson said that, I made a gesture like this and he saw the bird outside land in my hand. I am grateful for every little moment and every little God wink and every little expression of spirit that happens. One of my all-time favorite quotes, I have so many more for you, but is by the poet Hafez. And my practitioner teacher, this is on her card, and I always wanted it on my card, but she has it. It's, I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. Well, how can you do that better than celebrating? Celebration shines that light. Celebration magnifies that light. Celebration draws that light forth. We talk about being mirrors, right? Ernest Holmes says, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. Well, we can reflect love and celebration and that light back to each other. And we can do that by consciously paying attention to the little joys, by consciously making them be our reflection. And by doing so, you give someone else the opportunity to see the light that they are. So I'm going to ask you all, I'm going to come back up and do a little meditation, but I want to ask you all to consider what is one thing in your life that is worthy of celebration that you have neglected, right? What is one, I'm talking about the big things, what is one thing that you could pay better attention to, that you could celebrate, that you could be grateful for in the beautiful song that Eileen did? Just think about that. And then think about how you can celebrate it and share it, right? It doesn't have to be by sharing your joy at an AA meeting like I do, but maybe it's telling someone. Maybe it's just making a phone call. Maybe it's journaling about it. Maybe it's making art. Maybe it's singing. Maybe it's dancing. But what can you do to celebrate something in your life that you have let fall by the wayside? Something that you have been too busy to pay attention to. Something that is worthy of celebration. And let me tell you, there's not too much that isn't worthy of celebration when you choose to see it through the lens of love. So, we're all going to celebrate today. We're going to celebrate this community. We're going to celebrate the love that we are. We're going to celebrate joy. We're going to celebrate the expressions of spirit that we all get to be today. Who's with me? All right, and now we're going to have Eileen come back and sing us another beautiful original song, and then I will be back to lead us in a guided meditation.
People say it's gone for good, but I know that it never could be. Far away or understood, that love lives here. A tiny place within each heart. The seed of faith is how it starts to light the way out of the dark. So love lives here. Love lives here. Love lives here. Beyond the veil of doubt and fear. Yes, love lives here. It isn't in a far-off land. It's in the very spot we stand. And I will walk with you hand in hand till peace lives here. Together we'll be heaven bound. We'll lead a change until we found the universal voice resounds that peace lives here. Peace lives here. Peace lives here. Beyond the veil of doubt and fear, yes, peace lives here. Cast aside our differences and leave behind blame. There's deference to the evidence that we are all the same. So I'm declaring better days when we're quick to celebrate and praise, and we can begin to count the ways that love lives here. Love lives here. Love lives here. Beyond the veil of doubt and fear. Beyond the things that disappear. The everlasting truth reveals that love lives here.
And so perfect, because yes, love does live here, and we are all expressions of that love. So, we are going to have this amazing barbecue and celebration after, but first, we're going to do another kind of celebration. I invite you to close your eyes and to come into your meditative posture and to simply arrive in the moment, right here and right now. Just take a deep breath in and exhale gently and arrive in your body in this space of celebration. And then take a walk with me. we're going to take a little walk through a beautiful field. A field of flowers with buzzing bees and butterflies and beautiful clouds in the sky and soft sunshine. And we're just walking in this beautiful field that is just perfection. And then we come to a table, to a long table in the middle of the field. This is your table of celebration. And it is not filled with food, although it will be outside filled with food later. But this table is filled with every blessing in your life. And every blessing in your life has taken on an appearance, a metaphorical appearance. And so maybe there's a small stone representing strength, or a flower representing beauty, or a photograph representing friendship. Just noticing all the things on your table of celebration, whatever they are for you. Just breathe in this beautiful scent of flowers in the field, this beautiful fresh air of celebration, and see how heavily laden your table is with blessings. And now I invite you to notice those things that maybe you didn't realize were blessings. Look on your table. I'm sure there are things on there that you've forgotten. Things that you struggled with, or things that you didn't recognize as blessings when they happened. Maybe a comforting hug, or a smile from a stranger, or the laughter of a child, or a meal shared with someone you love, like we're going to share this amazing meal later. Just notice, visualize, and see all the things on your table of blessings that you may not have paid attention to, that you may have thought of as ordinary. But now that you see them on this beautiful table of blessings, you recognize that each one was a blessing and was extraordinary. So just take a breath and say thank you. And as you exhale, say, I receive you all. Let's do that again. Breathing in, thank you. And exhaling, I receive you all. And then I want you to notice that you are not at this table alone. I want you to notice that gathering around this table are all the people in your life that are your blessings, that have been your blessings, that continue to be your blessings, past, present, and future. They are all gathering around this table. Oh my goodness, we are so blessed. It is crowded. It is a crowded table because we have so many people who are blessings in our lives. Maybe some of them are even strangers that you don't recognize, but that here in this moment you see as a blessing. And just take a breath in and thank them. Thank the people who are blessings in your life. And as you exhale, I want you to make a commitment to spread that blessing and to be a blessing at someone else's table. Let's just take a few breaths there. Breathing in the gratitude for all our blessings, and breathing out the commitment to be a blessing to one another and to others. Breathing in gratitude for our blessings, and breathing out the commitment to be there as blessings for others. This is how we celebrate. This is our table of celebration. How we get to show up in the world. And how blessed are we? So now I want you to repeat after me. I celebrate life. I celebrate the expression of love that I am. And I celebrate each one of you as the expression of love that you are. And so it is. So, yeah, do you feel like love? Do you feel celebrated? Are you ready to go really eat a table full of food? All right, so this is our time to celebrate our abundance, right? We are abundantly joyful, we are abundantly grateful, and we are celebrating that abundance by, I'm passing the basket. You can put an offering in the basket. There's also Venmo and PayPal up there on the wall. You can go to our website and hit the donate button. That's my favorite way. But whatever you do, give from that heart of celebration, right? See your gift as a celebration, because it truly is. When you give from a heart of love, everything is a celebration. And as you give, that's right. So as you give, so you receive. So I invite you to give joyfully, give gratefully, and give expectantly, knowing that your abundance is ensured. So if you would just place your hands over your heart and repeat after me. I give my gift. I give joyfully. I give with celebration. And I know that it all returns back to me, multiplied abundantly. And so it is. So, let's see. We have some announcements. Let me see what they are. Well, the big announcement is stay, because we're having this amazing barbecue, and we're having a concert later. Okay, I still can't say this name, Mark. So it's Ed Skrazinski. So Ed, we're having a concert. Mark is the drummer. We're having a concert that follows the barbecue. So please stay for that. It's a love offering. So we're hoping that you will contribute to our center in a way that fills your heart. Also, we have meditations on Wednesday mornings with the lovely Jean Lee from 9:30 to 10 through July, so a few more weeks. Please try and attend, it's lovely. We have July and August Science of Mind magazines, yay! And you know Lori's guarantee. If you get a Science of Mind magazine and you don't find value in it, I will joyfully refund your money, because they are such a huge part of my spiritual practice. And we still have one more week for the marketing action in June, which is to share with our friend. So share with a friend and add something about how CSLM has made a difference in your life. That's our marketing action. June, please take books from the back counter and add a bookmark. as I shared here a couple weeks ago, and as Valerie so sweetly shared last week when she presided, I put the bookmarks in my library books when I return them, so that the next person who gets that library book gets the bookmark and gets to see about our center. So that's just one way that you can pass the word along and share about our wonderful center. Am I missing anything? I think that's it for the announcements. And now we have a surprise. We have a surprise, wonderful guest coming up to do our closing treatment. No. It's a guest. To this center. I'm inviting Reverend Janice to come up and do our closing treatment for us. Because we wouldn't be here without Reverend Janice. And I want to celebrate her.
I have to celebrate Lori too. But this is how much Lori loves to do everything she does. I didn't put myself in to do the closing treatment. As many of you know, some of you know, I lost my voice a couple weeks ago completely. Couldn't imagine me. I couldn't speak for 4 days. For 4 days. I had a lot of people treating for me. Lori said, I like your voice the way it is. I said, maybe because you treat it. It's kind of, no, I kind of like it too, you know? So I reached over to her before. I said, would you be okay if I did the closing treatment? She had to think about it. Doing it so much, she was like, yeah. So thank you for being gracious and allowing me this moment. I also wanted to do this. I want to give Lori a hand for just all the energy. I also wanted to stand here and look out at everybody because it has been a year since we've been down here. And I have actually been associated in many different variations with this center for 27 years this month. And I have seen so many variations of what this community has been. And I have to tell you that a year ago, when we had gone through the changes we went through, 6 years ago, when we started to go through the changes we went through of moving from our center, and then losing the spirit, blessing our spiritual leader after 32 years, as Lori mentioned, there was a lot in that time, I think in those years of inner turmoil that people went through, of what's going to happen, and their own inner growth that they had to go through. So I want to celebrate each one of you who moved through that. There were lots of you who had to go through grief and loss and the unsettling feeling of what is it going to be? How are we going to be here without Dr. Frankie? How are we going to be here in a new building? So celebrate each other for your willingness to accept that, to trust Spirit, that Spirit always provides what we need in the moment that we need it, and for your willingness to trust the leadership here, that we kind of have your back, like it has been our honor as a leadership council to create this new container. It has certainly been my honor, again, after 27 years, to create a container for the next evolution of Center for Spiritual Living. But when you create, and I have to thank the practitioners, also the speakers and musicians, when you create a container, you need things to fill the container. And I trusted and knew, as many of you did, that it would be filled, but I have to say, I am in awe of how it's been filled. Truly in awe of how this community has stepped up and connected with each other and filled not only this room and this space, but beyond, and is bringing people in and inviting people in so that we can fill it even more. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for creating this, and just look around at each other. This is our community. It is a community of love, and we're just going to keep growing and growing. So let's celebrate with a closing treatment together. And so I stand here in this sacred and holy moment, rooted in the power and presence of God, rooted in the science of mind teaching on the shoulders of greats like Ernest Holmes and all of those who have brought their wisdom, knowledge, creativity, and depth of love to create Centers for Spiritual Living, which is celebrating its birthday next year as well. 100 years of this teaching. And to be living in this country that is celebrating 250 years. And that all of us are part of this creation. All of us as expressions of love bring our unique expression to continue to create a greater sense of connectedness, a greater sense of spirit, a greater sense where power means the power of love and not the power over anything. As the power of love, that power dissolves anything unlike itself. And there's nothing we need to do. There is no force that is needed because love is the only force. And so we celebrate each other in this community. We celebrate this space that we got to fill and continue to fill. We celebrate the food and the nourishment we are about to receive. We celebrate this community and the love that we give each other. And we go forth from this beautiful joy that we have all experienced today. We go forth spreading it by just smiling at each other, by just noticing and experiencing the love of each other. We go forth into our communities, into our families with the very beingness that we are, knowing that we are rooted in spirit, and spirit knows itself through and as us. And so as I release this word, I do so with so much joy and gratitude in my heart, knowing and trusting that it is the law that fills it right here and right now. And so with gratitude and joy, I invite you to join me in saying, and so it is. So it is.
This morning with my mind stayed in the spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed in the spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed in the spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Talking with my mind stayed in the spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed in the spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed in the spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm singing and shouting. I'm singing and shouting with my mind stayed on the spirit. I'm singing and shouting with my mind stayed on the spirit. I'm singing and shouting with my mind stayed on the spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Can't judge your neighbor. Can't judge your neighbor with your mind stayed on the spirit. Can't judge your neighbor with your mind stayed on the spirit. Can't judge your neighbor with your mind stayed on the spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Thank you, Reverend Janice, for the beautiful closing treatment. Next week, we have speaker Chris Ferraro with music by Rhonda Tanay. I invite you all to stay for our barbecue and the concert after. And I am available, as always, for Treatment Express for anybody who would like treatment now before you eat. So, thank you all for being here.